Let the heat flow through you.
G'day, and welcome back to the Anzac Gaming channel. I'm Angelite85, and let's get into this. Yes, I know everyone is so tired of hearing about microtransactions and shit, but I want to talk about it, so there. Let's start out with what happened recently with EA and Battlefront 2. What an absolute roller coaster and dumpster fire it has been with this thing. First it was pay to win, pay to progress loot boxes, microtransactions. Then the excessive time to unlock heroes that they adjusted the cost down for, and then negated that by adjusting the reward amounts as well. Then Disney calls EA over the backlash. EA finally steps down and temporarily disables microtransactions. The Belgian government got involved over the loot boxes as well, considering that they wanted to find out what was going on. And just recently, before actually sitting down to do this recording, I find out that the Belgian government has now deemed loot boxes with real money gambling, and is now pushing for the European government to also, well, the European Union, I should say, step in and ban the practice as well. You know, they now, I'll just clarify, the Belgian government did say that they do not mean microtransactions themselves, they mean the loot box system. They are fine with the microtransaction cash shop where you can see what you are buying, and I agree with that. I purely agree with purely cosmetic cash shops. But, you know, let's keep going forward on this. We have now been told that in the UK, Battlefront 2 is selling way worse than Battlefront 1 in the same time frame. Investor confidence in EA has fallen, causing a drop in their share price, which has been, last I heard, was 10%. So a 10% drop. But having said that, EA's share price has been trending up anyway, so it's not really a thing. But they've also gone into kind of a damage control and actually have had Ghost alter the progression system. So Ghost is the developer for Need for Speed Payback. So they've been told to alter that progression system, which apparently has a similar system to Battlefront 2. Now, before we go into this, this is what happens, publishers and developers. I am now talking directly at you. This is what happens when you push us too far. And that is what's happened. You have pushed too far, and you are now getting that snapback, and that's what's happening. And before any of the friggin' analysts out there turn around and go, oh, gamers should be thankful that they have microtransactions because it means that the price of the game is cheaper. No, it's fucking not, because if you put microtransactions in and lock the content behind that wall, we still have to pay to get at it. So the game itself isn't actually $60, or here in Australia $80, $90, $100 in some cases, depending on where you go to get it. You know, so don't come to us and say, and basically piss on our head and call it rain. You know, that's just not how it works. And I'm going to also put my head on the chopping block here as well, that a lot of this is a result of us, the gamers. We have let them get away with so much for so long by pre-ordering, by buying into the season passes, all that sort of stuff. And I am guilty of it. But you know what? No more. I will no longer pre-order stuff. I will no longer buy season passes on sight unseen, that sort of thing. I'm not going to be doing that. So no more. I will no longer be pre-ordering. If the game has dodgy practices, or the company has dodgy practices, I'm not going to be supporting them. So EA, more than likely, I will not be supporting any games from EA anymore. I won't, you know. Though I do have a kind of question here. I do have a question here, and then I'm going to move on to something else. I have a question though. Why is it that we went straight for EA's jugular over this, but we didn't do it to Rockstar 4 years ago when they brought out Grand Theft Auto Online? Why is it that when EA does something, or even Activision for that matter, we lose our freaking minds? But Rockstar does it, or another developer does it, we let it slide. And before anybody says, oh, but Grand Theft Auto Online doesn't have pay to win. Dude, seriously, what do you think the shark cards are? Like, the shark cards are a currency? No, actually not even that. You buy in-game cash in-game to buy vehicles with weapons. Like, you can buy military, in the game, military weaponry. You can buy jets with missiles and stuff like that. You can upgrade this stuff. It's pay to win, okay? It's pay to win. But, you know, we've got analysts telling us that, you know, and some people even agreeing, which blows my mind, because all the data points that I've been seeing, especially by even a recent video by Feature Creep, which is Tomamak. Anyway, the link will be in the description to that video, where it outlines that games actually have not gotten dearer to produce or more expensive to make overall, okay? The games have actually gotten cheaper over time. They've actually dropped in cost to produce. The only thing that's changed, and some people would say, but this is where it all falls apart. You know, I gotcha. Is that the games that the companies are producing are fewer, okay? They're producing fewer games. They're still getting record profits. The budgets are being, that they would have had going over 12 games, say, are now put into only 5 games. So they only produce maybe 5 games or whatever a year out of these companies. And the budgets, you know, people said, but yeah, see, the budgets are huge. Yes, but again, what games were they producing before? How many games per year were they producing? Were they, you know, they were producing 12. Now they're producing 5. The money that they were spending on 12, they need to spend on 5. The money that they make from making, so they technically are getting record profits off only, or the same profits off only 5 games that they were off 12 games. So they've found that they don't have to produce and pump out games to make the money. They can, you know, they can pour money into only 5 games, and voila, there's 5 games are really good. And then people have said, oh, you know, the multi-platform costs. We have PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, Nintendo, you know, and mobile phones if you want to include them. But the main platforms for games is Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. So, you know, and do I need to actually give an example of an indie game that is of AAA quality and only was $40 to buy, you know, which is Hellblade. But this is the thing, like, people say, oh, you know, games, we can debunk this all day. Games have gotten dearer, blah, 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 blah. Games have gotten produced, da, da, da. No. See the video, you will see that the cost to get the game from woe to market has actually declined since 2010. Hasn't been in decline since 2010. The cost of the games, each individual game, the budgets that they are getting has gone up, but the companies themselves, the overall cost to make the games and get them to market has gone down. So, in one way, yes, games have gotten dearer to make, but the companies have found a way to make them cheaper than ever at the same time. So the cost to market is down, the cost of each individual title has gone up, but then on the flip, as again, I'm going to be, you know, I'm stepping over myself and I'm saying a bunch of things now, but, you know, look, I'm just going to make it really, really simple for you. Okay, we have fewer games produced out of Ubisoft and EA and Activision and Blizzard. We have fewer games per year made by those companies, and the budgets haven't changed since, you know, so we've gone from them making, say, 12 games to only 5 games in the same time in a year, but the cost to get the games to market has gone down, so the overall cost to the company has dropped, while the game's budgets that were being put into 12 is now spread between 5. So the budgets of those games have gone up, but the sales for those 5 games have also gone up as well. So anyway, you can go and watch the video, it'll be in the description. Highly recommend it. You'll realize what I'm trying to get here, that actually games have not gotten expensive to make. The overall cost to the developers and the publishers has not gone up. In fact, it has gone down. The games have gotten cheaper to get to market in now. You know, the overall costs to the developers have gone down since 2010. But I'm going to move back. So now I've got that out of the way, I'm going to move back to microtransactions. Now, my idea of how a microtransaction should work in any game is basically this. We have a cash shop with all cosmetic and only cosmetic items in it. And the pricing is dictated by a rarity system involving loot boxes. Wait. Hear me out here. The loot boxes cannot in any way, shape or form be purchased with real money. Only earned in-game playing. The loot boxes have, let's say, 4 tiers. We have a common tier, which has everything minus some ultra rare cash shop exclusive items. Uncommon, which has only uncommon and up. Rare has only rare and ultra rare has, well, ultra rare stuff, including ultra rare stuff that can only be gotten in the loot boxes. So we have two ultra rare categories as well. So we have loot box only and we have cash shop only, and there is no crossover between the two of them ever. So that's how that would work. The only thing about that is you might be thinking, well, what happens if I get duplicates? Well, as I said, the boxes can only be earned in game, and are only common and uncommon boxes that can be earned, with duplicate items being automatically scrapped into loot box only currency. So you can get with that currency uncommon, rare or ultra rare loot boxes, or let's say there's even event specific skins or emotes or whatever, and we'll call that, say, a 5th loot box. But and that is the seasonal loot box that gives you the opportunity to get seasonal set of skins you missed out on, and that's how that works. So you might say, you know what, I really want that ultra rare armor skin. Okay, well, I've got 1,500 loot box credits. A ultra rare loot box is, 500 of these credits. I can get 3 of these ultra rare loot boxes, and there's a chance that I'm going to get the skin that I want. So you can then roll the proverbial dice with these 3, on the 3 loot boxes, cashing in all your loot box currency and get the option to get that ultra rare set of armor skin. Or you might go, you know what, it's $10 on the cash shop, I'll just buy that straight off I'll throw $10, it's cash shop, that's it, done. You have the skin, you don't have to try your luck with it. But maybe it's, so that's how that one works. I honestly think that is the best microtransaction system ever. You have the items you can buy directly, or you can grind them out in the game for a chance to get them for free via the loot box system. It is a win-win to me. But anyway, what do you think of my idea? Hit that like button if you liked it, and I'll see you around like a risol. E no hora.